Welcome back to That's Entertainment. Today is one of the most important episodes of the year on the show, not because it's the Academy Awards themselves, but it's because it's time for our annual Oscar prediction showdown. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know the history. Mike has somehow won 4 out of the 5 last year's, which means one of
Somehow.
two things. Either he is incredibly important on the understanding of the Academy, or he's just really good at picking the movies that are obviously going to win and pretending it's strategy. Meanwhile, I'll be once again attempting the comeback story. This is my Rocky montage moment. This is my underdog year. This is the year that I claim I have strategy, which usually means picking at least one or two nominees that absolutely no one else on earth thinks will win. So here's what will be going on. Mike will play it safe and pick the films that look like the obvious winners. And I'll throw in at least a couple of completely baffling wildcard predictions. And by the end of the episode, we'll both be absolutely convinced we're both right and the other is wrong. Only one of us, though, will actually be right this year. So let's find out who's taking home the gold between Mike and Chris. Mike, welcome back. Are you excited for the sixth, seventh annual, whatever it is, Oscar prediction show?
So first of all, there's a bunch of children now screaming with joy because you just said 6, 7 in a row, and that's a
There,
meme. I don't understand it. I don't think it's funny, but that
six,
you
seven,
do
six,
that with
seven.
the hand. Yeah, I don't understand it. But hey, there's people screaming with joy. Also, I don't think I'm right this year. I think we're both wrong.
Oh, just wait. Just wait.
You're gonna be unhinged again. This is why I win. You go with unhinged picks.
I go with the wins that should win, not the ones that shouldn't win. But that's, again, just Chris Brown. So let's dive into this because we have a lot of categories, including an extra one because the Oscars are just that crazy. They added an extra category. So let's start with Best Costume Design because, we're switching it up this year and we're going to go in a different order. Best Costume Design, and the nominees are Avatar, Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. Now, Michael, what is your prediction on this one?
Frankenstein.
Okay. So we're starting off with two of the same predictions here because I am in the exact same category here. I think they did amazing for costumes. I don't know the backstory, but I think it was probably one of the best designs for costumes in this entire category. And I don't understand why Marty Supreme was in this category, but that's just me.
So Marty Supreme was here because it was a period piece. It was a very specific time period piece, and they did execute it incredibly well. That's why Marty Supreme was here. Um, I don't understand why Avatar is here. Half that, over 90% of that movie is CGI. The other 10% was military uniforms. Why is Avatar here? Mm-mm.
So when I was putting together the rundown and trying to write down all the names, I wrote down Fire and Ash. I was like, wait a second. Is this actually like is this costume? Am I putting this in for costume? Wait, this
Oh,
isn't for costume. Like you said, half, I would say about 75% of the movie was CGI. Are they considered costume CGI now?
I don't know. I mean, listen, that loincloth was doing the Lord's work. I didn't see an iota of a Spider's member. So that costume, you know what? Maybe they get the nomination for that alone. I did not see anything because they that costume was putting in the work.
Sinners was okay, I think costume design, but I think Frankenstein just hit it out of the park. And I will be upfront while we just are getting into the very first nomination. Frankenstein is going to pick up a lot of categories for me in
Yeah.
the technical awards, and then basically lose out everything else. So
Well, and that's the thing. I liked the movie a lot. I really enjoyed Frankenstein. I know you and I have had conflicting conversations about
I
that.
liked it. I think it was probably one of the best adaptations of the movie,
Oh, good.
like to the original content of what Mary Shelley actually wrote back in the 1920s. So I would say it was probably the best version of a Frankenstein monster origin story that I have seen in some time.
Yeah, I really liked it, but it fell into like the Wuthering Heights category for me. It was technically beautiful. I just saw that new Wuthering Heights, and it's all I can think about. Beautiful execution of all the technical stuff. The story was the story.
The story was the story. So in
But
our
yeah, no,
first
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein for you, Frankenstein for me. So best costume design, my prediction is Frankenstein and
Frankenstein.
now let's head over to the next category, which is best makeup and hairstyling. The nominees are again Frankenstein, Coco, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and then again, I thought this was the same movie twice, The Ugly Stepsister. Michael, what was your prediction on this one?
Frankenstein.
Again, we are two for two, and I'm not shocked at this at all. First off, can we just talk about the Smashing Machine? That this was going to be the year that Dwayne Johnson was going to get nominated and be the person that he has always wanted to be around the Oscars, and they barely got. I think this was one of two. Oh, no, this might have been their only
Yeah.
nomination. So this was not shocking. So I've got to ask the big question because we're both on this Frankenstein this journey here. You have always said in past episodes, past prediction episodes, that the person who wins best makeup and hairstyling goes on to win one of the acting categories. Now, there's only one category where the nominee is nominated for best makeup and hairstyling and for actor or actress or supporting actor and actress. Do you think this is going to be the year that that bucks the trend again?
Yeah, I think we're bucking the trend. I don't think because it's always leading, it's never supporting if it goes hand in hand. And this year, really, Sinners would be the only one that I think out of all of, yeah, Sinners is the only one that it could possibly have gotten that. But I just Sinners was great. The makeup and the special effects and the prosthetics in Frankenstein were so incredibly executed. The Ugly Stepsister was very gory. So I watched a lot of it like this because I don't do gore. And because it was also not in the English language, I saw the movie through my hands. I do not do well with the gore, so hey, I don't really know what happened, but it was good. It was well executed gore from the bits I saw before I screamed and looked away. Smashing Machine, I listen. Adam Sandler, The Rock, they just want an Oscar nomination at this point. Maybe we should just give them one since we're handing them out.
Well, Tom Cruise got his honorary Oscar last year, so maybe Adam Sandler and Dwayne Johnson will get their honorary Oscars in a
I
few
hope
years'
so.
time. Really, I think that's a chicken way out of getting an Oscar, but that again, my
It's
opinion.
not, it doesn't count towards your EGOT, and nobody counts it towards your EGOT. Even though they all try. And they're like, no, I'm like one award in my EGOT. No, you have no
It's
awards. You got your
it
honorary.
it's like saying, "Hey, I have an Emmy." No, you have a daytime Emmy. They're not the
Th-
same thing.
Hold on. I'm gonna put a pause on that because some folks absolutely certain things you can and should get the daytime Emmy for. And like if you're a soap opera star and then you only like doing soap opera for TV, but you do movies and stuff, all the soaps are on daytime Emmys. And I wouldn't take if Susan Lucci got herself all the other awards. I'm not going to take away her EGOT. That woman has earned it with her 875,000 Emmy nominations for daytime Emmys.
I'm just saying that Whoopi Goldberg is not a EGOT winner because she has a primetime Emmy or a daytime Emmy for The View. So
Whoopi
let
Goldberg is. I will fight to the death for Miss Whoopi Goldberg.
okay, we can do that on a later episode of that
Yeah,
entertainment. So the nom for our predictions for best makeup and hairstyling, my nomination pick is Frankenstein and
Frankenstein.
look at that, two for two. Maybe this is the third one we will actually start disagreeing. For best film editing, the nominees are F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. My pick for this, I'm going to start off because I think you and I will actually start to disagree on this one, is One Battle After Another. I think the editing was instrumental in telling the story that we saw on that screen. And I believe that the editor, alongside with the director, because they have to work in tandem together, One Battle After Another did fantastic. And that is my prediction for this year's Oscars for Best Film Editing is One Battle After Another. Michael?
So I really wanted to pick F1. I felt like it is the best pick here, and then it has yet to get any kind of award anywhere. And like it breaks my heart because F1 should win this, but I also put One Battle After Another. Um, pretty much every category except for one, if I voted for One Battle After Another, it was begrudgingly because I did not necessarily prefer this movie to some of the other. I liked it enough. Like I'm give it its nominations. I'm not taking that away. I just think for some reason we are way hyping up Paul Thomas Anderson's film, and I don't like. I get it. He has 14 nominations. I don't care. I
We'll
just it wasn't for me. It wasn't the strongest thing this year. And like, yes, give it nominations, but it wasn't the strongest.
Well, we will see what happens. So I'm actually shocked that we're in alignment on the first three. Usually
Imagine the
by
whole thing. We're the
if
same.
oh, I guarantee you that's not going to be the case. I know there's going to be at least three where you're going to go, what are you smoking, Chris? So let's just put that where it is. So for best film editing, my pick is One Battle After Another, and
Mine is one battle after another.
in Best Production Design, the nominees are Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. Now, I was back and forth on this one, to be honest,
Okay.
because there was a moment where I was heavily leaning towards Sinners, and then I was heavily leaning towards One Battle After Another, and then I heavily leaned and I picked Frankenstein because so we're by for those who are listening to this, we're I sounds like we're going to be a 4-on-4 right now, but I think this was probably one of the heavyweight categories that we have seen in this Oscar nomination pick. There's not a lot of moments when I went, okay, I'm having a hard time, but for best production design, I was torn. I could have gone Sinners, and that's where I was. I before we started recording, I texted Mike and I said, "Hey, I'm still picking my last picks." And this was the category that I was all over the place. I could not truly decide, and then I literally just had to rip the band-aid off and I say, okay, I think Frankenstein is going to probably pick up a lot of the categories. So this is my pick, is Frankenstein for best production design. Mike, who did you
Yeah.
pick?
I also picked Frankenstein. I
Were you
just
was it hard for you?
no.
Really?
Yeah, it was not hard for me. I think that
Even with
what they
Sinners?
yes. Sinners was great. Sinners was one major set piece that was the club for 90 85 90% of the movie. Beautiful, beautiful execution, incredibly well utilized space. However, Frankenstein was multiple intense like locations. Production design there was stunning, and it it captured it, it matched with the costuming really well. It matched with it. I have a really difficult time seeing anything other than Frankenstein in this category as my pick. The only thing that would maybe come close would probably have been Hamnet, but Frankenstein just leaned more into that steampunk, like gothic Victorian feel, and it just was a stronger selection for my brain.
And this is the director Del Toro's like bread and butter, right? Like he is able to bring
Yes,
together a group of truly mastermind people to do these categories that tells his story that he is wanting to tell. And Shape of Water, I'm trying to think of the other ones that he's done, but I can't think of anyone off the top of
Pan's
my head.
Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth. Literally, these are the he tells a story through the production of this show. It's not
Yes.
just the actors. And that's what lost out Sinners for me because the actors do a lot of the heavy lifting, where a lot of the background, the hairstyle, the makeup do a lot of the heavy lifting for Frankenstein. So again, my pick for best production is Frankenstein. And again, 4 for 4, which is shocking. We are both in agreement, right?
Yeah, Frankenstein. I mean, Guillermo del Toro is one of the greatest like designers of a monster movie.
Yeah.
And like he's one of the greatest creators of a monster movie that's not just a monster movie. There's more to it. There's more heart, there's more opulence, there's more elegance and elevation to it. I think it's really hard for other movies to really kind of weigh in when Guillermo del Toro's at the helm of a film because it's like he's got that crafted to a science and he knows what he's doing to get the best out of his actors, especially the one playing the monsters.
Plus, he's able to bring together the same people over and over again. You'll see
Yeah.
him work with the same people over and over again. So he knows that people are going to gravitate to at the Oscar time to nominate these.
Of
And then
course.
that's what studios are looking for as well, a group of people rather than just the director. But again, that's just me. So
Yeah.
again, 5 for 5 for we're picking on the same people here. We got to start disagreeing here, or people are going to assume that we're making this up as we go along, Michael. For best visual effects, the nominees are Avatar, Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, Sinners, and I don't know why this is in here, but it is The Lost Bus. Now, Michael, I think you and I will probably go 6 for 6 right now because I was not in the category here. I was not on this until about 48 hours ago. And I went, okay, I need to pick up at least one here because I know I'm going to be throwing away at least 3 or 4 categories here. But for me, my pick is Avatar, Fire, and Ash. What about yourself?
Just like with Guillermo del Toro, with monster movies and production design, to not pick the Avatar movies, which always win this, is one of those like, this is an easy pick. Like, it has to be Avatar, Fire, and Ass, because like it
Fire and
just
what?
ass.
Okay.
Listen, I hated that movie. I have not liked a single Avatar movie because I watch it and go, Pocahontas did this better
Fern
in
Gully did it
90
better.
minutes. Fern Gully did it better in 70 minutes.
The new
I
Hopper will do it much better in an hour and 20.
exactly. Like I listen, nothing against any of these other movies. I enjoyed a good portion of them.
Can you tell me
Um,
why The Lost Bus was in this category?
no.
Because this is the part that is pissing me off, and it's royally pissing me off. The only CGI was the relationship between Matthew McConaughey and America Ferrera. Plain and simple. That was the only CGI I saw because that is the only CGI that I could go, oh, I am now
Oh.
believing that these two actually like each other and need to get these kids to safety. Don't get me wrong. Tragic story about what happened during this moment. But at the same time, girl, the acting was horrible. And girl, okay, if you're just CGIing the fire, huh, bad,
I I
bad,
mean,
bad.
I would have probably have put Fantastic Four here, but I'm actually shocked we have no Marvel in this visual effects category because usually we have one of the Marvels that came out.
Or DC, but
I've not seen any DC this year.
you didn't
I
see
don't tend to
Superman?
watch. No, I don't tend
Okay.
to watch the DC films because they're just are really unbearable and then they never get nominated. So it's like, why am I going to watch an unbearable movie that's not even going to get nominated? Yeah, I had to pick Avatar, Fire and Ash. Like, it's just, it was a beautiful 3 hour screensaver.
The 1995's Windows screensaver wants its
Love.
screensaver back. Okay, so our predictions are the same. Again, going 6 for 6. My pick is Avatar, Fire, and Ash, and yours is.
Avatar, Fire and Ass.
Okay. In best documentary short film. Now, I'm going to say this bluntly as much as I can because this is the point of time in the show where I need to make a little bit of a editorial note. This year at the Oscars, they've implemented a new rule. If you have not seen all the nominees that have been nominated in this category in a certain category, you cannot vote in that category. You have to have seen every single one of the nominees. Now, I'm going to be blunt. The next 2 categories, I cannot vote because I'm going the way of the Oscars because I wasn't able to find some of the categories. Oh, he's rolling his eyes because I'm assuming he's voted on the stance that he saw all of them, but I guarantee he probably didn't see all of them. I maybe could be wrong.
I didn't. I was going to go see them in theaters. It just never worked out in a time that would work for my schedule. That being said, I'm I'm still picking. I'm not the Oscars. I'm not a paid member of the Academy. And also, if you want to make that rule, make your shit more readily available. You cannot ask me to find some of these films that are 12
But
minutes long.
again, you and I are not Oscar voters.
Correct. So we can vote. So for documentary
So
short,
here we go.
picked
The nominees are All the Empty Rooms, Armed Only with a Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renaud, Children No More, Were and Are Gone, The Devil is Busy, and Perfectly a Strangeness. Now, I'm going to say this because I just went into that rant. And now, if Michael's not going to adhere to the rules that the Oscars have put out, then I am not going to adhere to the rules that the
good.
Oscars put out. Perfectly a Strangeness. Who'd you think?
All the empty rooms.
Okay. So the two that I didn't see is The Devil is Busy and Perfectly Strangeness. And I'm picking one that I did not see because I went to the good old Reddit forums and I said, who's going to win? And they said Perfectly Strangeness. And I said, okay.
Really, I picked all the empty rooms because we love. Well, you know what? No, I'll call a spade a spade. The United States has a hyperfixation on school shootings and no desire to end it. So can I say that on this? I don't care.
We're
And so
not
the
on TV, so you could say whatever you want this episode.
and so all the empty rooms was the attempt to get America to care. And I think that the Oscars love nothing more than talking about how morally righteous they all are. That's what the Academy loves. So what's one of the hot button issues that keeps coming up that they feel like they have to have an opinion on? School shootings. That's one of the ones they always have an opinion on, and they're okay to have an opinion. Like Palestine, we can't talk about. This, we can't talk about. School shootings, we all know they're bad. We don't like
Well,
them.
Bowling for Columbine, right?
Yeah,
Michael Moore Bowling for Columbine. Literally, that is all it is about. So, can I ask the follow-up question? Now,
sure.
you and I both. I'll be first to admit there's two categories I was not able to see all five categories. So we're gonna make some predictions based on what I've seen, and that's it. And basically Reddit as well. Was this the category that you didn't see all the nominees in?
No, all three of the shorts, I couldn't find them all.
Okay,
So yeah,
all
all three
three
of the
of them.
shorts I couldn't. Yeah.
Okay. So for this, my pick for best, just want to make sure, best documentary short film is Perfectly a Strangeness, and yours is
All the empty rooms.
okay. In best animated short film, the nominees are Butterfly, For Evergreen, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and The Three Sisters. Now, again, I'll be upfront. I did not see two of the films that we have put out here, which is Retirement Plan and The Three Sisters. So, under that knowledge, I am going with The Girl Who Cried Pearls.
I'm
Michael?
also going with The Girl Who Cried Pearls. I watched the trailers for all of these, and with this category, 95% of the time I find it goes based on animation style. So I don't even necessarily need to watch the this category. You just got to watch like the minute trailer they release usually,
Yeah.
which in some instances is almost the entire film anyways. Um, so The Girl Who Cried Pearls had the most interesting animation style. And it's also when I was like, I don't know who to pick for these and was doing a little bit of research. This was the one everyone's like, oh my God, this is life changing. I'm like, great, we'll pick that one then.
And I agree. And I when I was picking this category before that, I was not going to. I literally remember you saying last year it's usually based on the style of the
Yeah.
animation rather than the actual storytelling. So that's why I went with The Girl Who Cried
Yeah.
Pearls. So again, we are now eight for seven, 7 for 8 agreements here, which is again very shocking for us, but hopefully we'll start disagreeing here. So my pick for this is The Girl Who Cried Pearls, and yours is.
The Girl Who Cried Pearls.
So, in Best Live Action Short Film, the nominees are Butcher's Stain, A Friend of Dorothy, Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, and The Two People Exchanging Saliva. Now,
Salvia.
Salvia, sorry, I apologize. Salvia. I
Oh no,
was
you're
back.
right. It is saliva. I'm just clearly drunk this morning, I guess.
Maybe I should do the best. Maybe I should do all the acting categories as well because I'm reading correctly for the first time. Shocker. So I was back and forth between two different picks here, and I was really I saw all the movies. And I was really tempted to go one way, but at the end of the day, I decided to go the other way. So I was down to A Friend of Dorothy and Two People Exchanging Saliva. And I chose Two People Exchanging Saliva. Yourself? Who'd you go
I
with?
did the same thing. Why are we picking? I love it now. Like after years of me just pummeling you, you're like, okay, I have to pick up categories
I have to
because
pick
now
up
it's now creating the most uninteresting fight because there's no fight.
exactly. We got through 9 categories in less than 10 minutes. This is not normal, Michael.
Listen, I said, you know what? let's pick that one. I
So
said, let's go.
who did you have in second?
I'm gonna be quite honest. This is the category I don't think I ever have picked up in the entire time that we've done this. So I just literally went eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I did a little
Okay.
research, and that was one that people were really wanting. And then Friend of Dorothy was fine. So I said, which do I want out of those two? So I guess Friend of Dorothy would be
Yeah,
mine.
and that's where I was too. I was back and forth, and then after I locked in my picks, I went and I checked all the like the nominations just to see if there was anything like not the odds, the prediction market, and it literally had two people exchanging and Friend of Dorothy literally neck and neck, so it could go either way. I
Perfect.
hope it's not a Friend of Dorothy because I didn't like the movie overall. I liked the acting, but I just didn't like the sort of storytelling and how it was very slow. It was very slow. And I had to watch it and I literally sat there and I went, what is this about? This is so slow. Anyway, so we are now 9 for 8 at Agree. So either we both really suck at the beginning or we're really good. But my pick for best, I just want to make sure, best live action short film is Two People Exchanging Saliva, and yours is.
Two people exchanging saliva.
For best cinematography, the nominees, I guarantee, will be probably the same: Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Michael, who'd you pick?
Sinners. You picked Sinners as well, didn't you? How? I can't. Okay, what should win this one is Train Dreams, and I think that's getting not a single award tonight.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert.
I agree.
Like, it should be Train Dreams, but nobody's going to take that seriously, unfortunately, in this category.
Because
Um,
there was no hype about it until they were like, "Oh, what's this movie?" And who's gonna? They don't get me wrong, it's on Netflix, so everyone can watch it. But there was a moment when people went, "Huh? What's this new movie I have to actually go out and watch because it has not been nominated for any other big award?" Continue.
yeah, I don't understand how it got. Listen, great film, like great acting. I think that that gentleman who played the lead in it should be in the leading actor. When we get to the leading actor category, I have opinions. So we may agree on who we picked, but I've got opinions about who should not be in that category. Uh, and I think that like it needed like one or two more awards to be really viable, and it just didn't. And it needed like it needed an acting award, and it probably needed like a score or something else with it, like another technical category to like really make it a competitor. But it's just it sadly is not, and the only thing here it really should win is cinematography, and I think it's going to go to Sinners. For me, this was between Sinners and Frankenstein, though, for which the Academy was going to pick. And unfortunately, we don't get the Guild Awards until tomorrow night for the cinematography. So I couldn't even pull from that as like a who's where their brain is thinking.
Are the cinematography awards the same night as the Oscars?
The 8th.
The Oscars are the 8th too.
No, they're the 15th.
What? We've
Yeah.
literally been stressing this whole day trying to figure out how are we going to edit this show together, put it out on YouTube, because I was thinking the entire time the Oscars were the 8th.
No, they're back this year. They pushed it back.
Okay, never mind. I will shut my mouth. I don't know why I screamed that loudly, but here we are in 2026. Okay, so best cinematography, my pick is just like Michael's, Sinners.
Woo, Sinners!
Should be fun. For best sound, the nominees are F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, or Surat. Michael, I'm hoping you and I have chosen two different ones here, but again, I am not 100% sure, but I'm going with F1.
F1! It's like it's
Literally,
the
this
same thing
title,
with Top Gun.
literally, this episode's title is That's the Episode They All Agree.
Pretty much. Well,
So
this fell into the category like Top Gun Maverick did. It's a movie about racing cars, and like the sound was stunningly
yeah.
done. It was just good sound. I thoroughly enjoyed F1. I think honestly F1 did not get nearly the credit it should have gotten for that film. it should have been more nominations. But I think this is going to be the one that an easy one you can give it to F1, and then you can say we did give one of the Best Picture nominees, and we did give it to F1 there because they do like to try and divvy out awards to at least most of the Best Picture noms.
And to the hey, look, we saw that everyone really liked F1, so we gave it an Oscar, guys. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
We are seeing what you guys are liking, and we're agreeing that F1 was a great movie. It just got sound though.
Which there's nothing. Listen, the sound design on that was stunning. You
Yeah,
can't. I mean, you can't knock it. It was very well executed.
it certainly was. Well, 11 picks, 10 agreements, one disagreements. My pick for best sound is F1, and yours is
Also F1.
Best Documentary Feature. The nominees are The Perfect Neighbor, The Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through the Rocks, and Mr. Nobody Against Putin. Michael, I think this might be our second disagreement one, but I would be interesting to see who is your thoughts.
The Perfect Neighbor.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Oh, you didn't pick that
I
one.
literally picked The Perfect Neighbor.
I was riveted watching
I was
that.
too. I was like, it was the most like enjoyment of a feature film that I went, holy crap, how has this not been on everyone's top 10 list of movies this year?
Also, the Alabama Solution. Loved, loved, loved,
Eh,
loved. Oh, I was captured by watching this happen. The Perfect Neighbor captured me in a different way. And like, also, 90% of the document, I'm making this fact up. I don't actually know if it's 90%. I just like to, the majority of folks that watch documentary film or documentary features watch true crime style documentary features. This was a very well executed true crime documentary feature on a very important topic of gun violence and of the stand your ground law and of, you know, just racial profiling. And it was just so well done. And every step of the way, I was there. They had me captured from like the second it started. And that sometimes is hard to do. Some of these documentaries, I'm like, all right, we get it. You made it. Yay. This one, I was like, what happened next? Girl, I need to know more.
I would agree wholeheartedly on that statement. So, again, I'm shocked that we are in agreement so much this year, but maybe this is the year that maybe this is the second tie year. Maybe this is the year that we tie again, and we just are so happy and so collegial that we just sit there and we just respect each other's opinions from now on instead of attacking them like you usually do with my picks. So for best documentary feature film, my pick is The Perfect Neighbor and
Mine's The Perfect Neighbor.
look at that. Okay, best international feature film. I think we're gonna go 13
We're
for
gonna
12
agree on
on this.
this.
The nominees are The Secret Agent representing Brazil. It Was Just an Accident from France. Sentimental Value from Norway. Surat from Spain. And The Voice of Hind Rajab from Tunisia. Now, again, I am going to say this, and we have said this probably in the last six of our six prediction shows. If you are nominated for Best Picture and nominated for Best International Feature Film, there's a high likely chance that you will be winning that category. Now, this is a little bit different because there are two movies that have been nominated for Best International Feature Film and for Best Picture. Those are The Secret Agent and Sentimental Value. But I'm going to say this respectfully, only one will win. Shocker. And it's probably the same one that you and I both agree with. So in an order,
Wildly mad because you want us to disagree and you know this category we will not disagree on because you
we're
can't. I
both
mean,
picking
to settle.
sentimental value.
Well, listen. Actually, I'm happy that now more of the international films are getting nominated in other categories too.
Okay.
Like, because four of these five also had a secondary nomination. Like, it
Yeah.
was just an accident, got original screenplay. Sarat had sound, and then of course you had sentimental value and uh, the Secret Agent, which got Best Picture, and then there was a Best Actor for uh, Secret Agent, and casting. and then a
So
bunch of
is
acting
that so are
nominations
you
for
going with
cinema.
sentimental value?
Yeah.
Okay, so because the reason I say that, the reason I ask that is because you're right. Secret Agent did get pick up a lot of other awards. Now it's probably not going to win those other awards.
No.
Is this the category where the Oscars say, you know what, we better give it to Secret Agent, and then we'll give Sentimental Value another category, or is Sentimental Value the better movie over the two?
I think they say, okay, see, sentimental value is winning no other award. Spoiler alert for me. I think they say sentimental value wins no other award and it's more nominated than Secret Agent, so let's give it to sentimental value. Whereas Secret Agent, I think it had three or four. Yeah, four, which international and best picture. It's the same issue with Train Dreams. It really needed a few more pickups to probably beat sentimental value in this category. But I think this is a sentimental value. And I think that, I mean, the sheer number of acting nominations for sentimental value outweigh the sheer number of acting nominations for Secret Agent. And you can have the most beautiful picture in the world. If it's not getting the acting nominations, that's where you sometimes are just going to struggle to win.
So for our picks for best international feature film, I'm going with Sentimental Value, and shockingly,
I'm also going with sentimental value.
here we go with another one we'll probably agree on, even though literally as we jumped into this call, this recording, Michael goes, "Oh no, I forgot a best original score. You're gonna see me in real time picking my choice." For best original score, the nominees are Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. Michael, who did we both pick?
Sinners?
Shocker!
Disagree. Let's disagree. I love a disagree. Who'd you pick?
I picked Sinners.
Oh, I thought you were saying like, ooh, like a different, like you picked
Oh no,
different.
no, I picked Sinners.
I can't stand us this season. Listen, this is not the most interesting episode, but if anything, you have
Just
the
just
dudes who
wait.
never agree.
Just wait. The next category I have strong opinions on, and you and I will fight.
I can't wait. I love to fight.
So best original score. So that is the music that tells the story that is not lyrics that are ingrained into the actual the movie. So that's the background instruments. That's the sort of the musical undertone that a movie makes. The next one we're going to be talking about is best song. But for me, Sinners tells a great story, but the music intertwines into the story that makes you go, you know what? This
Yeah.
makes me feel something along with what's going on the screen. And I think he does an amazing job in doing this. And for those who don't know, I forget the composer's name, but it's Ludwig, and I forget his last name. But he has been nominated basically for the last like 10 years, and he is probably the one best composer that people want because he always gets nominated and usually always wins. So I'm going with Sinners, and you are going with.
Sinners. I mean, you gotta go with that movie. Love it.
Okay, so this category is the one I know you and I will disagree with.
I can't wait.
In Best Original Song, the nominees are Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters, Train Dreams from Train Dreams, Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless, I Lied to You from Sinners, and Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verdi. Now, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna pick one that
You know it's not
needs
gonna
to,
win.
I know is not gonna win, but should win because I despise the movie that will probably win. I am picking Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless.
Um,
I
I love that
I
you're
told you there was gonna be some oddballs in here, and this is the part of the show where the oddballs start coming out. So for
I
me, Miss 23 or 28 or however many times she has been nominated needs to win. If this is the year we start giving people awards just because they've been nominated and have never won, we need to give Diane Warren her god dang Oscar now.
I will say this about Miss Diane Warren that I said about Paul Thomas Anderson. If you want to win, write me something that's worthy of winning.
You think Golden was a better song?
Yes, and
Oh
I think
my
it
God.
captured the and it captured the like zeitgeist like wildfire. It was everywhere. Oh, the kids love it. The parents love it. I was talking to my friends who have a 3-year-old. God, he just turned 4. Oh, geez, I'm old. And
I like how
he knows
one
it, and
year.
they like it.
Continue.
What?
Nothing.
Oh,
Nothing at all.
shady. You're being shady. But it's one of those like it was just everywhere. It's really hard to like go up against some of these that I'm gonna be honest. I listened to them and forgot them. I could sing you Golden right now. I mean, not well and not the right words because I don't remember words all that well sometimes. But like I know enough of the melody and the hook and like it's popular for a reason.
Well, I think we have officially hit the moment in the show where we start disagreeing with each other more often than we agree with each other, Michael, because I
Good.
think this is the point of the show where we start turning on each other.
I
I
love
think
it.
I think Golden was just a horrible song. I don't think K-pop Demon Hunters was a good movie. I think it was a horrible movie, even though it has a Canadian background and a Canadian director and a Canadian production behind it. I just did not like it, and the fact that now I'm going to have to watch 12 more K-pop Demon Hunters because it has now become this global phenomenon makes me think of the years of Monster High, and I'm thinking to myself, this is literally going to be Monster High all over again. We're going to forget about this movie in about 10 to 15 years, and everyone's going to go, what was that movie that was nominated in 2026 that won? Oh, I don't remember. But you know what? Good for them. Good for them for doing what they need to do. But I do not think this was a song that was in the zeitgeist. I think it's a song that will be forgotten about in about 15 to 20 years. It is not a song that has can stand up against other songs that have been nominated in this category or have even won any of the other categories. But again, that's just me. So my pick for best original song is Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless. And Michael, I feel like you have a bit of a rant that is incoming. So go ahead.
Not a rant. I didn't know you hated Canada so much. So
Well,
I'm rooting for
I,
Canada
I,
this
I,
year.
I,
Unlike Chris Brown, I am rooting for Canada this year, and I am picking Golden from K-pop.
so remember that Canadians who are listening to this, the American on the show is telling you that he's sucking up to you. It must mean that something's going wrong at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue that makes you want to think that you need to suck up to Canadians.
Oh, please, I don't need to suck up to anybody. I am an
Uh,
opinionated homosexual.
So your pick is Golden, my pick is Dear Me, and again, we finally have two categories where we disagree on, and I guarantee
Woo!
I've just lost because of those two categories.
Woo!
In Best Animated Feature Film, the nominees are Arco, Leo, K-pop Demon Hunter, Little Emil of the character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. Now, I know where the Oscars are going to go here.
So you're
I
picking
know.
against it?
No, I need to because what I just did in the last category, I need to pick up this one because if somehow I win best documentary short or whatever I chose, the relentless whatever, I need to pick out this one. So unfortunately, because I see where all the other nominees are going, I'm choosing K-pop Demon Hunters.
I'm choosing K-pop Demon Hunters, but if we're being very honest, I wish I could
Zootopia
give it to
2?
Zootopia 2. I loved Miss Zootopia 2. I laughed, I hee-heed, I ha-ha'd. I just think that K-pop Demon Hunters just has a massive groundswell that like people are gonna watch this to see this movie win this award.
I would
And like
agree. Yeah.
you gotta. And also I enjoyed it. Like, and that it's not my demographic. Like, I don't listen to K-pop music. I'm not big on the anime or the manga. Like, but I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed it so much, and it had an interesting art style to the animation.
And at the end of the day, as we said about best animated short, they usually pick the one with the better animation. But again, that's just me. So again, we're in agreement on this one. Best animated feature film is K-pop Demon Hunter for both of us. Now for the casting. Best casting for a film. The nominees are Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. Michael, go ahead.
I really struggled with Sinners and Hamnet for this one. I really did because both those films I think had really strong casts. And then I just went, wait, Marty Supreme also could be in this. So this was a hard category for me. Ultimately, I did go with Sinners. I'm assuming you went with Sinners as well. Yep. It was a well executed movie. It's like giving Lord of the Rings Return of the King. Like, I think it's going to sweep a good number of these.
Which is weird, which is really weird. So if you remember back about 2 months ago when we did the nominations, our show where the nominations came out, you and I openly admitted, and this is what a whole month can do. A month ago, we were
Yeah.
like, Sinners is going to get, it got nominated for 15 nominations. It's the most that any other feature film has ever been nominated for. But we didn't think it was going to pick up. But then everyone started watching the film and went, oh, maybe it's actually good. And then all the other award shows
Yeah.
started giving them, and then we're like, oh, maybe we should start doing that. So that's where I started to rethink my thinking around all these films. But again, I agree with you. I think Sinners is going to win, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, it also had, we also just watched One Battle After Another literally sweep every single award show and the general public being like, did we forget about, like the general public being like, we forgot about Sinners. Why are we giving this? So that happened. And then the BAFTAs happened. And then after a racial slur was used to Michael B. Jordan, then all of us,
And
and then watched One Battle After Another win everything. Suddenly everyone, and it was, the voting was still like fresh, so folks were still had not voted yet for their academy. The academy had not voted yet. I think we're going to see all of that kind of meet because this happens sometimes when an award, a movie gets like sweeps every award and gets to the Oscars and they went, they've won enough, let's give it to the next one. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I really am predicting that's going to happen. Or you and I are both very wrong, and One Battle After Another just sweeps everything, and I get re-correct.
I think the Oscars have dramatically shifted in the last 2 weeks when voting
Yeah.
started to happen. I think, if I'm not mistaken, voting is now closed for the Oscars by the time this
Yes.
comes out or by the time we are recording this. So I am not 100% sure that this is going to change, but I could be completely wrong. So for my pick for best casting is Sinners, and yours is again the same as mine.
Sinners.
Okay. Again, next two categories are two that we guarantee we'll probably be picking the same ones on. Again, this is a weird year for us. I think we need to start fighting a little bit more. The best original screenplay, the nominees are Blue Moon, Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. So just like casting, I'm gonna pick for my best original screenplay, Sinners, which I'm 90% sure I have the same as my fellow co-host here. Who did you pick for best original screenplay, Michael?
So I was very torn between this and Blue Moon.
Okay.
I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Blue Moon
But
was
you hate
everything
Ethan
as a,
Hawke.
I hate it. I hate him and I loved him in this. Shocking.
Told you.
Shocking.
Told you, right? I told you a
I
month ago that this was going to happen.
this is the type of work we need to give Ethan Hawke. Single room sets where he can just act. He can just be a wacky like character. Yes, he was playing a real person who was a wacky human. Like this is where Ethan Hawke shines, and this we never give it to him because we have some weird belief that he is like this very artistic. This is artistic, but this is a perfect type artistic. Like they keep trying to give him these weird like elevated horror or like Marvel that it's like, no, he doesn't thrive there. I have the same issue with Brad Pitt. We try to make him an action star and he's not. Um,
Best thing he did, and I say this as quickly and as respectfully as possible, best movie I've seen him in, Brad Pitt, is 12 Years a Slave.
yeah,
I think he gave a brilliant performance in that,
yeah,
and I think that's the roles that he should stay in and not do the, hey, look at me, I'm an action star, because he
yeah,
tries to be Tom Cruise, but even Tom Cruise is in a whole new category as well. So Brad Pitt should stay with the sort of drama,
yeah.
sort of period pieces.
And like I also F1 loved him, and I think Tom Cruise This is gonna be awful. This is gonna be mean. I'm gonna be mean, and then I'm gonna get to my point on who I want for
YouTube
original screenplay.
exclusive. Michael's mean, everyone.
Um, I think Tom Cruise is a great action star because that does not require heavy lifting with your acting.
Yeah.
Whereas Brad Pitt is an incredible actor who tries to put so much into it that it just falls flat because action movies are not meant to be like leaned heavy into the acting. It's about the explosions, it's about the boobs, it's about the running, it's about the action happening. Like I watch Transformers, I'm only watching that movie for the all of the above. Well, not the boobs, but like that is why action films do well. And that's why straight men like action films.
Breaking news: Michael doesn't like boobs.
True. True. Um, so
So, best
back to the
originals.
category.
Yeah.
I did pick Sinners because I just think that as much as I loved Blue Moon and as much as I think it is the stronger pick here, I think this is one of those categories where they can guarantee Sinners gets at least the win. And that's where they're going to say, we want to
You got
give
casting,
Ryan,
you got a best original screenplay. We're not going to give it to the other one.
yeah, we can give Ryan Coogler his award. And that way, if he doesn't get any of the other awards, we can still say we awarded him for his
Yeah.
fantastic movie.
Yeah. Well, so best original screenplay, my pick is Sinners, and your pick is?
Sinners.
For best adapted screenplay, the nominees are Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. Again, a movie that I think, category that I think you and I will both agree on here. Who did you pick?
I picked One Battle After Another for the same reason I picked Sinners. It's a way that if we don't give Paul Thomas Anderson an Oscar in any of the other categories, we can give him his Oscar so he finally has one after 14 nominations. And I do think Hamnet was the better pick here, but I also, when we get to that category, leading actress, I have a lot of thoughts about why I think Hamnet did stand out as a secondary for me. But no, this is, I think, a One Battle After Another.
I would agree wholeheartedly. And now, so for best adapted screenplay, because we are now entering in the final six categories, which are going to be the strongly worded categories, and we're already 50 minutes into this episode. So let's go. For best adapted screenplay, my pick was on One Battle After Another, and yours was?
Also, One Battle After Another.
Okay, so Chris Brown is going to try something new here. He is going to try to read the nominees and their names in the acting categories before Michael jumps in. We're starting with the acting categories for Best Supporting Actor. The nominees are Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Sean Penn and Benicio del Toro, both for One Battle After Another, Stalin Skarsgård for Sentimental Value, and Delroy Lindo for Sinners. I'm not sure if I got all of them right, but I'm happy because Michael didn't laugh at all when I was reading them out. But for you, Michael, who is your pick for Best Supporting Actor in a feature film?
Sean Penn. Sean Penn made that movie for me. Sean Penn was giving full, but this is the thing. I also really want to pick Delroy Lindo, and like I talked with my friend Daryl about this for a lengthy period of time because I was very torn on this category and very torn on supporting, and I think we're giving it to Sean Penn. I really wanted it to be Delroy, and he was really trying to convince me Delroy. And Delroy's not competed with any of them in any of the awards, and I just can't take that risk. I
If
want to
you would
win.
if you would have asked me about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, before the Actors Awards, I would have said it's Stellan Skarsgård's for the cleanup. He was going to win. He was going to pick this
Yeah,
up. But I think you are right, and that's why I changed my pick after the Actor Awards, and I think Sean Penn is going to win his, I
yeah.
think, now third Oscar for One Battle After Another. This is a weird year for us. We are in agreement more than we disagree, and I'm not liking it at all. We need more confrontation here. This is weird.
It's
I don't like
very weird.
I don't like it. So best supporting actor, my pick is Sean Penn for One Battle After Another, and yours is.
Also, Sean Penn for One Battle After Another.
Hopefully, this next category you and I will disagree on, but I guarantee you we will not. And I'm going to try once again to name all the actresses in a supporting role here, and I guarantee you it is not going to happen, but we're going to try.
Before you start, are you
Yeah.
sure?
You know what? No, let Michael do this one. So for Best Supporting Actress, the nominees are.
The nominees are Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value, Inga Ibsdottir Lilius for Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan for Weapons, Wunmi Mosaku for Sinners, and Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten all those. So thank you so much
I
for
know.
jumping in, Michael. Michael, who did you pick for this?
So this one it was between Amy Madigan and Wunmi Mosaku, and I honestly I was so set on the Sinners until the SAG Awards and until again that conversation with my friend Daryl. I was like I have to give him one of these. I think I have to give Amy. I'm going Amy Madigan. You picked Amy Madigan too, did you? Oh my God, we're just not arguing. This is the year where it's all going to come down to original song.
No, it's going to go down to the one that we all didn't see the categories, the one I threw
Documentary
away.
short. It's
There
going
you
to come
go.
down to documentary short for you and I.
Yeah, literally, because if I get that one and you get best song, then we'll tie on everything else.
Listen, it's fine. It's
It's
fine.
so I'm going with Amy Madigan again. If you would have asked me about a week ago, I would have gone with Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. But I think
Mm,
Amy Madigan winning the actor award, the former SAG Awards that turned into the actor award, I think Amy Madigan is finally going to pick up her it's her second nomination, but I think it's her first win
yeah.
for the Oscars. So, and I like her. I saw some of the interviews after she won, and she's like, "Oh my God, what's this?" I'm like, oh, "Who is this woman? How have I
I
never
love
heard of
her.
Amy Madigan before this award?" So, I think my pick for best supporting actress is Amy Madigan for Weapons, and it sounds like
Yeah, mine is also Amy Madigan for Weapons, which is shocking because
okay.
I did not like that movie.
No, me either. But I think she gave a brilliant
Yeah.
performance. And
Yeah, she
it
did.
goes, so I saw a lot of sort of comparison shopping when people were talking about this. They're saying that Amy Madigan for Weapons, which is kind of a horror film, it is a horror film. This is their way of giving back to Tony Collette for Hereditary. They were like, hey, look, we actually do like horrors, but just not for the major awards, just for like the supporting actors and supporting actresses
Yeah.
awards.
Also, Demi Moore for The Substance, which probably should have won also.
I agree.
I'm waiting to be heartbroken in this category because I'm like they're gonna pick Tiana Taylor and like she was last place for me. Sorry, Tiana. You were
I
in
think
20 minutes of the movie.
I think sentimental value, the two females that were nominated there, Elle Fanning, and I forget the other woman's name right now. I think those were the last place for me. But again, that's
Yeah, they're also
here
gonna
nor there.
split that vote.
Yeah, which is weird because for One Battle After Another in Best Supporting, Sean Penn probably benefited for Benicio del Toro being in that category as well.
Yeah,
The Oscars doesn't make sense half the time.
never
Okay,
do.
so best supporting actress for both of us, we're going both with Amy Madigan for Weapons. And now we turn to the category that Michael has been salivating about over the last about hour to talk about. For best actress, again, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it.
I
The
love that.
nominees are Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Renette Receive for Sentimental Value, Emma Stone for Begonia, and Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue. Michael, who did you pick?
Girl,
Did we
girl.
pick the same one again?
Jesse but Hamnet, okay. Yes, I picked Jesse Buckley, and Hamnet gave me pause in so many of these categories, and I cannot tell if it was because I loved the movie so much, or if she was just so unbelievably brilliant in that film that it elevated the rest of that. Because like I just she that I I can't even like fully form sentences about it. It was so good. Every single human I've spoken to, I have said like you have to see this film. It was so unbelievably incredible. And I also think like I loved Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue. I know you did not necessarily love that movie. She would be my second place, but
I think she
I
would have been higher on my list if she had actually sung the songs.
she didn't sing those. I thought she was singing those,
Ooh.
but she was on Glee.
Just because you were on Glee doesn't make you a singer. Rachel
But sh
Berry called. She wants her singing voice back because, girl, no one from Glee was a good singer.
that's what we'll fight it. The whole episode. We didn't fight about the Oscars. We fought about Glee.
Okay, but I think Kate Hudson would have been higher for me if she had actually sung the songs.
Huh. That's a fair statement.
I
You
think
had
Emma
Rose Byrne
Stone was a
second.
oh yeah, of course. I think Rose Byrne was the one that would have only beat Jessie if she had picked up at least one of the major awards. If
Agreed.
if it wasn't just for her winning
Globe.
the Globe, I think if she would have won even the BAFTA or something other, she would have been a higher contender for me. But
Yeah.
because Jessie swept, I think it's a clear indicator. I think Rose gave a brilliant performance in
Yes.
If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. And it really makes people now think that Rose is not just a comedic actress that she was literally known for, that people could see her in these potential
Yeah.
drama outbreaking, sort of standout star breaking movie. So I think Rose Byrne, even though she didn't win, is not going to win this year. She will be back. She will be back.
I hope so.
It's not going to be like a Melissa McCarthy getting a nomination for Bridesmaids and never coming back. I think Rose Byrne will be back, and she will have many good years ahead of her because this movie kind of showed the studios that if you want a dramatic actress who is good at drawing that line between hilarity plus like broken-hearted, just down on your luck drama, Rose Byrne is your girl.
Well, they also, one of the big things, comedy actors are phenomenal at drama. It is
Yeah.
harder to make someone laugh than it is to make someone cry. And so when you take someone who is extremely funny and is brilliant as a comedic actress and you drop them into a drama, they usually shine,
Yeah.
which is why Rose Byrne finally kind of having, I'm happy we're giving her her flowers. Honestly, this category, I had a
Who is
great
the
time
weakest
in
one, do
it.
you think?
Renat.
Really? I would have said Stone.
So Emma Stone, I have to, I unfortunately you do have to factor in the last 20 minutes of that film. I right up to that moment, I was transfixed by her and Jesse Plemons and was ready to go to war for this movie and be like, you all just don't understand it. I was ready to go to war. And then the last 20 minutes happened, and I went, it, we didn't need that. It should have ended with her entering into that closet and then cut to credits, just
Like the
like with
original.
Inception. Oh, is that what they do in the original?
Yeah. They
Yorgos.
they literally reinvented the wheel for the last 20 minutes because I guarantee you some studio producer said no one's going to understand what this means. So you're going to have to write an extra 20 minutes. And if I was Yorgos, I would have said, "No, I'm going to do what I want." And this is why it's Begonia, great movie if you take the last 20 minutes out.
Were you as transfixed as I was for that
Not
first?
No, I wasn't transfixed. I would say it was a great movie. I would say that Plemons is okay in the movie. I think Stone gave like he should have been nominated in supporting actor.
Yeah. No, best actor.
Really?
Yeah, no, him and her were the
Okay.
two in that.
I know, but
The
I would have said she was like the main character, and then I don't know how supporting an actor work out, but he would have had a better shot of the Oscar if he was put into the supporting actor category.
oh, 100%.
And
But
that's where I think a lot of these Oscars lose, right? When you're like, oh, I'm a main character. It's like, yes, you're main, but you know Emma Stone is literally the face of this picture. So put yourself in supporting, and you guarantee you'll probably get a chance of nomination or something.
he had more screen time than her though.
But she was the face of the movie.
Yeah, but he still had more screen time.
Oh, I agree.
This
I'm
is where we're
just
fighting. Yay, we're fighting.
over a movie that has zero nominations, that no predictions to win anything in our list right now. But okay, we'll fight about the movies that don't matter this year.
Listen, I was ready to go to war for this film, and then I just sometimes lean into the Inception. Don't spoon feed the audience the ending. Like Inception's one of my favorite films because it doesn't give us the answer at the end.
Yeah,
That top keeps spinning, and as it's about to wobble, we fade to black, so you don't get to know.
that's true. Who knows? So for best actress, the my pick is Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, and yours is.
Happily, Jesse Buckley.
In Best Actor, the nominees are Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. Now, I don't know if we're going to disagree on this one, but I don't think we will, but I could be wrong. My pick for Best Actor winner is Michael B. Jordan for Sinners.
Same.
I would have
Ditto.
said I would have said Timothy Chalamet would have had the chance, but his Oscar nomination PR blitz has been a spectacular failure. And Michael B. Jordan, I know there's external circumstances that led to Michael B. Jordan kind of becoming who he is right now, but with the actor win 2 weeks ago, he's the clear favorite, and I think Timothy Chalamet will be sorry that he will not be winning, but he is probably not sorry because he'll go away and he'll be nominated about 2 years or even next year for another one. But I think Michael B. Jordan, because he plays two amazing characters in this movie, even though I wasn't a big fan of the movie, I think he is the clear front runner for this, and that's why I chose Michael B. Jordan. Michael, what's your thoughts?
Timothy Chalamet is really it's the way to look at Timothy Chalamet is unfortunately mirrored in Leonardo DiCaprio's own journey to his Oscar. Very young, immediately thrown into it, and then makes a lot of stupid comments in the early portion of their Oscar career. Like just 2 days ago, yesterday, 2 days ago, Timothy Chalamet in a on stage was saying that he wants to be in films because they matter, not like opera and ballet that you have to fight for 14 cents and I don't need your 14, and basically trashed an entirety of an acting art form with opera, ballet, and theater, stage theater. And it's like, you could just say you're not able to do that. It's hard. It's a different kind of hard. Like 8 shows a week doing the same thing, conjuring the same emotions. Like, yeah, you can do 8 takes in a day and then leave and never have to cry again. If I'm doing a show like Rabbit Hole where I'm crying over a dead son and I'm doing that for 10 months, 8 times a week, that means I have to grieve a dead son 8 times a week for 10 months. Like, that's not, and sometimes twice a day. And I have to give the audience the same exact emotion and the same level. He's doing a lot of stupid things, and it's hard to award someone so young, so arrogant. And I think once he has the arrogance beaten out of him, like Leo did, he will win at some point. He will absolutely win. He's incredible. I was ready to give him this award, and it's just he's tanking it and tanking his own trajectory. I would have loved to have given you Ethan Hawke in that movie was so friggin' good, but Michael B. Jordan was also so friggin' good and played two roles, and both roles were so different. I for half of a second thought, did they get two? Is he a twin? Like I actually genuinely was. It took me a second to grasp
Because
that
his
he was doing it.
dimples are able to be controlled, and that's how you're able to tell which twin is twin. I'm like, wow, that is
Uh-huh.
acting to an extreme. So if you would have, so when we did our prediction or our Oscar nominee show, I said Ethan Hawke was my clear front runner, and I think he still is he probably gave the better performance overall. But I think Ethan Hawke is just Ethan Hawke. He's the guy that you will nominate, just like, hey, look, we gave it to Ethan Hawke. That will be he'll still be able to say Academy Award nominee. But I think for Michael B. Jordan, it was just a better performance. And the fact that he was able to play two people and make it sound like one person. And for those who don't know, he was nominated for both of the parts here. He wasn't just nominated for one twin over the other twin. It's literally both of and he could have
Yeah.
separated both of them into two different people because that's how good it was, like Michael said. But for Timothy Chalamet, the last week and a half, he has had a horrible week and a half. When you
Yeah.
attack the entertainment industry that is literally voting on you, you should just shut your mouth and maybe not do things like that for 14 cents. But I'm just going to leave that there.
Yeah. All 14 cents.
Yeah. So our picks for best actor in a feature film, both of us are going with Michael B. Jordan for Sinners.
Sure are.
So we are down to our final two categories, and we're going to try and make these simple. But I think there's going to be a disagreement on both of them, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. For Best Director, the nominees are Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Ryan Coogler for Sinners, Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, and Chokum Tier for Sentimental Value. I could have gotten that wrong, and I see the smile on Michael's face, so I got it wrong. Michael,
Jo Joachim Trier.
I got it close. Chokum.
Sure.
My pick is after 14 nominations. Paul Thomas Anderson will be winning the best director for One Battle After Another. And I saw some head nodding, so I think we're both in agreement here, right?
No, I picked Sinners.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
going against the Directors Guild and against the Producers Guild this year. I I think that especially with I think that this is going to hit that wall. I think like three billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, it went one, and then suddenly Guillermo del Toro with Shape of Water came up the rear and was able to get it. So I think this is going to Ryan Coogler for Sinners for director.
Holy moly. This is our fourth disagreement in 27 categories. So 28 categories. Huge
24.
news. 24 categories. So you're thinking Kugler.
I
Okay.
really am. I'm
Are you
also
just so you're just bucking the trend because you're going with what has happened in the past, not with the predictions and what you feel right now.
well, even some of the predictions I've been looking at are saying it's going to flip. And I'm watching, I think that right off the bat, people watched One Battle After Another, and that's why it got a whole bunch of like joy and etc. in the other categories. And also there's other award shows. They don't necessarily require you to watch everything. This is a big category. They're all going to be watching all those Best Picture nominations for sure. I think that when they actually sat down and had to watch Sinners, everyone went, "Oh shit, this is a phenomenal film." And I think that that's where you're going to see this kind of end up taking it.
We will see on March 15th, not the 8th, which I originally thought it was. So for best director, my pick is Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. Yours is?
Ryan Coogler for Sinners.
Finally, the best picture, the nominees are Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Michael, I think I know where you're going with what you just said, and I think you and I will be in agreement on this one, but I am going with
Really?
Sinners for best picture.
I'm also going with Sinners. You're breaking them up,
I'm
director
breaking
and picture.
I'm breaking them up like they did a few years ago with The Power of the Dog or The Dog of the War and The War of the Dog and whatever won for best picture that year after. And I think this is going to be another split year that Paul Thomas Anderson wins for director and Ryan Coogler wins for best picture.
I'm giving Sinners. I think I have a hard time every year splitting them up. I really do.
I
It could
don't.
happen. I know. I think that they're going to justify Paul Thomas Anderson with adapted and go, "Great. Thanks for playing." Like it's just Sinners was just a very good movie, and I think it was one people had not seen because that nobody's really required this. And I think when you require watching everything, it really does change your viewpoint on stuff. Like it's hard to disagree, it's hard to argue with Sinners against like Marty Supreme. But Marty Supreme's one that they would all gravitate towards and maybe skip Sinners, which is why horror gets shafted a lot.
We will see what happens, but I think Sinners was probably one of the better movies this year. I don't think it the best movie of the year. I think that still goes to my favorite was Nuremberg. Anyway,
Nuremberg.
there you go. If I could speak properly after an hour and 15 minutes, but here we go. My pick for best picture at the 2026, the 98th Academy Awards is Sinners. Michael, and yours is as well.
Yeah, also Sinners. We really only had four categories. This is going to come down to some nonsense like the documentary short.
And director.
No, I'm telling you right now, I bet you documentary short we both lose.
Yeah, probably because
I
none of the other cat not nominated the award not the voting public who gets to vote on these didn't get to see them all. So it's
yeah.
probably going to be like a vote of four people. You get it, random person here.
What were the other ones we disagreed on? Director, original
Song?
song, documentary short, and then one other one. My brain. Is it score? No.
No.
Is it editing? Oh, you
Mm,
no.
maybe it was only three.
No, it had to have been four. Ah, regardless.
No, animated short feature was The Girl Who Cried Pearls.
Yeah.
Best so you chose which one? The Empty Room, All the Empty Room, and I chose Perfectly a Strangeness. And no, I think it's only three.
It's
I
gonna come
think
down to small, stupid little categories. Three
uh,
categories are gonna decide this for us, and watch us win none of them.
yeah, exactly. And then we'll just be in a tie, which will always be the way it is. And just like that, the curtain falls on another episode of That's Entertainment. Now, if this conversation and this lack of debate sparked something in you, made you think, laugh, or even look at the entertainment world a little bit differently, then we're doing exactly what we set out to do on this show. The show is about stories behind the spotlights, the real conversations that shape the industry, and the passions that keep it all moving forward. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, take a moment to leave a review and subscribe to the show on all of our platforms. Your support helps us to keep the conversation going and brings you more incredible voices to the table and more, I'd say, debate, but today wasn't really about debate. So until
Yeah.
next time, keep creating, keep dreaming, and remember, the show doesn't stop here. Michael, always a pleasure.
Likewise.